So this is a challenge in which kids will bring out their cameras, get filmed slapping a teacher or a staff member at school. Imagine a kid coming to you, "Hey, Mr. Dion."
Hello, man. I hear what you're saying, but I think you are misquoting what you were actually trying to say. Because when I heard is kids are filming other kids slapping their teacher, which would be hilarious, but I know that's not what you're trying to say.
Because that's exactly what they're doing.
Hello, man. Did you just sigh out?
Hi, and welcome to Random Ass Convos with Twilla and Dion.
Dion.
Every week?
Every week. This is Twilla's podcast.
So, let's talk about that. Because, like I said, I feel like you're disowning the podcast when you say that. And that might not be what you mean.
I don't control this podcast at all. I am not an executive producer. I am simply encouraging a friend to be great.
I hear that. But then I also want to always remind you that you were like, let's us do a podcast. I want to do a podcast, but I don't want to do anything but show up.
You're right.
And then all of a sudden it became my podcast.
Right.
It's our podcast. Because I was supporting a friend.
Right. When I say, if I had said you should do a podcast, you'd be like, well, who? Talking about what? So I was like, I cut all that off and I think we should do a podcast. Wow. Hopefully you got encouraged, pushed through that little sense of fear. It was like, I'm good at this, Deanna. I'm like, yes, you are. And now I just tip off and sneak into the shrubbery like Homer.
So I feel like you think you're saying something really sweet. Meanwhile, I'm like, so you never wanted to do a podcast with me?
I don't want to do business with you. I'm just doing this for community service. Don't take your glasses off. Don't take it. You gotta know how to take these jabs, yo. Gotta let you in the ring with me.
But the thing is, I didn't sign up for a fight. How you just gonna be bullying people? You in the ring, and I'm like, I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know this what we was doing.
Bullies are great. Bullies are good for your diet.
No, bullies ruined Twilla Amin's self-esteem, and it's just now coming back.
That's the whole term of defeating your giants. I'm your giant. You David. You got to defeat me to be great. God gave you purpose. You got to know how to get over this Goliath.
This is how you do you bully your kids?
I'd rather not talk about that on camera. We can talk about that. Because we got
some stuff to talk about, if so.
And I guarantee they'd be great. If Joe Jackson didn't bully his kids, you think they'd be great?
Yes. And their self-esteem would be intact.
Who would have pushed them?
You can push somebody without bullying them. I think that's a misconception.
I guarantee all the people who have been...
There's a difference in bullying and tough love.
I guarantee all the people who are considered great had some sort of bullying with tough love.
I think that there are plenty of people who are great who just had tough love and no bullying.
All right. We will have to disagree.
We often do. Anyway, how are you? Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Anyway, Dion, how are you?
I don't see how you can hold this podcast up by yourself. Cause I am your Goliath.
Maybe you think too highly of yourself.
Is Goliath the good guy or bad guy?
He was an instrument that God used.
Right.
Right. I don't consider you that.
Right, but right. I want to help you.
I have enough obstacles and Goliaths in my life without my best friend trying to trip me up. In Jesus' name.
I'm trying to trip you up.
In Jesus' name. I added that part.
Respectfully. Respectfully, it's new in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I went to dinner today. They did some damage to my mouth. They did this laser like sculpting in between my teeth. And what that does is, see what she did was she cleaned my teeth and my gums, and she said you have a lot of pockets and gaps between your gums and your teeth. Like if you stick the knife down, it shouldn't be that much. Your gums should be tight against your skin. What happens is, for disclosure, I have a lot of bacteria in between my teeth. Like she's like, you don't floss good. So when you don't floss good, bacteria tends to eat away your teeth, and your gums push away from it. So when it keeps receding, keeps going further away, trying to get away from the bacteria. So she cleaned all the bacteria off, and then she said, now that I got the bacteria out, you still have like loose gaps because
you got loose gums.
I got loose gums. I tell people I be bumping gums, and so it's like somebody who have cankles, and then like somebody who's very skinny try to put them socks on. So what that laser does is tighten my gums up, and it tightens back onto my teeth.
You know, like as you talk about that and so freely discuss bacteria in your mouth, this reminds me of why like people used to laugh at me, but I am not like a fan of like kissing, especially like on like first dates, because I feel like that's a lot of like exchanging stuff. I don't know, like
first dates.
And I don't know like your history, your dental history.
Right.
So like
that could be a first date question.
It's like, how is your dental hygiene? Do you have or have you ever had cavities? How many? How often do you get periodontal cleanings? Like that type of thing. You ask on first dates, and then based on those answers, do you floss daily? Do you use mouthwash? How do you feel about water picks?
Says the person who allows dogs to lick them in the mouth.
Does that even sound like a thing I do?
Have you ever had a dog lick you in the mouth?
No. I've trained dogs well.
Well?
Yeah.
Dogs as in old boyfriends?
Well, they weren't trained too well. Thank you for giving us a dental lesson.
Yes, I learned myself. I was all in. I was engaged into this conversation when she was telling me about how she said pretty much your teeth are extra clean on the outside, extra clean on the inside. She's like, if this is your teeth, it's clean over here, clean right here. Your problem areas is literally in between here.
And you were like, that's what floss is for.
Yeah. Well, she said you floss, but you don't do like this.
Go into them pockets.
Like that. You don't do this. So it was like, she's like, you have a strip of like in between is fine, but you don't wrap around the tooth.
Yeah.
Like you
got you.
Yeah. And it was mostly in the back though.
Yeah.
Because the back is hard. Yeah.
The back is hard. They have like these not like, it's kind of similar to, you know, the handheld little floss pick things. Mm-hmm. But there's a longer one that you can get, and it comes with like it's like a little U shape, and it's got floss across it, and then you connect that little U thing to the hook, and you put it in the back to get to your back teeth.
Here's what they should do. Since I am a person who is new to the floss game, check this out. Fill me with both hands. You ready? They should have, you know how you put in your dental thing, the thing that you bite down on the what's it called? The mold, right? What they should do is they should have customized floss that you bite down into it, and it goes right in between your teeth. All your teeth. Don't make that face. That's genius.
But it's just a floss thread?
It's a floss thread mouthpiece. And you got to line up like, and you got that, and then you close it, you turn it like,
oh, okay.
And then you take it out, and you're like,
I feel like you'd have like, I have some of my teeth are really close together, so it feels like you'd be like trying to get the little floss piece out. Like,
well, that's what the mold was for.
Because it's perfect, but it's still
it's perfect for your mouth.
I just imagine trying to get the floss out, like a floss is stuck in between the tooth, And so instead of just coming out, you got ah.
And it's still flossing though. It's still flossing.
You and like we should do like a list of all your inventions, like a clip with just Dion Lack's inventions.
Yep.
That you share on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm a genius when it comes to unnecessary. No one has thought about that inventions.
Is it genius or just like creative?
Hey man,
genius is such a strong word.
Genius is a strong word, but only genius are allowed to use genius.
Well, you should stop then.
On a previous podcast, I thought we should call bras booby traps. Right? And also, I thought it'd be great. Well, Pat thought of this. They should call cup holders. If somebody don't trademark that, like Fenty, Savage, don't trademark booby traps and cup holders. Twilla, what I'm saying is genius. This is why I can't be a part of the podcast. You can't sit there and give me that face as if I'm saying something you said.
I was really thinking it through. Like,
what's the problem with it?
I was like, does cup holders feel too like male gazy? You know what I mean? Like
gazy?
Like, was this topic like was this description created by males? The male gaze.
Golly,
like,
man.
Cup holders. That's what I was thinking.
So you thought because it's coming from a man.
No, I was saying like product launching wise, like when you listen to it, is that something that women want to buy? Like, do I want to buy do I want to go buy some cup holders? Do I want to go buy booby traps? Like, it doesn't necessarily, although bras are the worst, it still feels like.
Because we've already heard it. Right. But the fact that there were jeans called apple bottom, y'all still bought those.
Were those also created by men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all still bought them because it was, hey, have an apple bottom.
Are apple bottoms still around? No. So obviously people weren't buying them for a long time.
But they got the boots with the fur. Oh
my goodness. Well, you keep sipping on the mic.
You like that noise?
I hate it. This is not an ASMR session.
What does that acronym mean?
Audio sensitive.
Don't touch your phone.
Materials recorded.
All right.
That's my story. I'm sticking to
Let's
it.
get to the stories.
All right. Now that says not.
How are you doing today, by the way?
Oh, thank you for asking, Dion.
Miss Host.
Miss Host.
The host of this show, you know?
Oh. I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I just got over like a super grueling 3 weeks. Not to say that the grind is over, but it just feels like I'm in a place where I can like slightly breathe. So
yeah.
That's good. That's good. I'm hop back onto a script. That always feels
good,
you know? It's enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, I had a COVID Monday. I
saw you on Monday.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I had to do this bobbing for apples contest with some elderly people.
Is that still legal?
So that's why I didn't tell you about it. And then after that, we had this butterfly kisses contest with children. And then Tuesday,
you went to a fall festival, school fall festival.
And then I had to eat. Had a pie eating contest with.
I guarantee if you did all that with just a bunch of complete strangers, you definitely have COVID. Yeah.
But I had it for one day though. My body beat that thing down like a.
How do you know you went to get tested on Monday?
I got tested Monday night. They said you ain't got it. Achoo. I don't have it no more.
Wow.
Yep, that's how I roll.
Put a disclaimer at the bottom.
Disclaimer? No, ain't no disclaimer. Ain't no disclaimer.
Waiting for Dion to be like, I'm joking.
Y'all gonna just take it as is. So I found out that ASMR means? Say that out loud because I can't say any of those words.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Like you ever figure out the definition of something and realize that I need the definition of the definition?
Let's see how they explain that. Autonomous, yeah. Sensory meridian response is a relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body. Also known as a brain massage, it's triggered by placid sights and sounds such as whispers, accents, and crackles.
Okay. Creepy people, man. When I first heard it, my daughter Brookie said ASMR. She said it really quick, ASMR. And I was like, what? You know, ASMR? That's it. That's the end of the story.
Okay.
All right, let's go in.
I already have one in my hand.
All right.
Oh, we starting off. Bold ass Dave Chappelle.
All right.
Dave Chappelle has received backlash for his new Netflix comedy special, The Closer. His comments are sparking controversy amongst the LGBTQ plus community and the National Black Justice Coalition, a civil rights advocacy group, has called on Netflix to pull his special. Do you think Dave should apologize or did he go overboard? For those of you who don't know, The Closer is Dave's most recent stand-up comedy, and he, I guess, kind of took by the bull by the horns, and I won't say doubled down on comments he made in the past and past comedy specials, but more so like expounded on his viewpoints of that, and so some of the things that he said,
punching down.
Well, I thought I wrote it down here, but one of the things he said was pretty much talking about the statement that people really hated was, he said, gender is a fact, how all people were born through a woman. Mm-hmm. Had to come between a woman's legs, and so and that's a fact. And that was one of the comments that sparked a lot of controversy.
So hold on, break that down. So people don't believe that all people came through a woman?
It's the statement, gender is a fact. So that's a big thing. And then even with all people who were born came between a woman's legs, there are people who've given birth who consider themselves men. Think about trans men. So they don't believe that they are now. So the trans men saying he is wrong for saying everyone who came from this earth came out of a woman's vagina. Yeah.
But they're upset because it's like, I'm a man and that has happened for me. That's what they're saying?
So while in what statements I've read, they've not gone that deep into it. But think about it. As a trans man, if a trans man carries a baby and the baby is born to that person, that baby has not come between a woman's legs, but between a man's legs.
All right.
An activist, Taylor Ashbrook, says, as a trans woman, I have usually defended Dave Chappelle's specials because I think they're hilarious and his jokes about trans women never felt intentionally malicious. The Closer changed my mind on that. The special felt lazy and disingenuous, and I'm really disappointed. And then the National Black Justice Coalition said in the statement that with 2021 on track to be the deadliest year on record for transgender people in the United States, and the majority of whom are black transgender people. Netflix should immediately pull the closer from its platform and directly apologize to the transgender community. We saw the special. And Dave Chappelle is
Dave Chappelle
is being Dave Chappelle, and I think he knew he pressed the buttons, and he said,
right. He says it
throughout the thing, and he also said, and that's the last time I'm going to address this.
Right.
So, do you think that we will hear any more from Dave Chappelle?
He's not gonna talk about it no more. But he used their title for him throughout the whole thing. Me, Dave Chappelle, the transphobia guy. Mm-hmm. That's where he kept using transphobia guy. But he broke everything down. I mean, but all his punchlines were yes ending what they thought of him. Mm-hmm. So he was saying stuff like, you know, he doesn't understand, you know, what's the word they always use? It's not I was born this way. It's the other one. How I feel. What is it? Come on, help me out. It's the identify. There it is. I identify. I must have lost my train of thought because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think Dave Chappelle. There's always ways to find humor and stuff. When you compare people's reality with analogies, make fun of the analogies, and then bring it back to someone's reality, that's when it's uncomfortable because they said, no, you're not going to make fun of my reality. But if he makes fun of the analogy, if Dave Chappelle's make fun of the analogy, we all laugh. And he's like, well, that's just like a trans man's feeling like this. They're like, whoa, no, you are not going to make me feel like that.
Yeah. I do think, so in his special, like what I did appreciate about his special is that he kept bringing it back to the human sentiment. And that was a big portion of what he did throughout. And I deeply appreciate it because, and he referred to his friend that since died, but it's just like, I am a human, I have a human story, I have human struggles and perspectives. I really thought that was beautifully done. Now, I have definitely been offended by jokes that Dave Chappelle has done in the past. And he is still like one of my favorite comedians. So you can have, you know, I think both of those places can exist where you're just like, I don't like what you did that. Like, I thought that joke was a little too whatever. I wish you didn't touch that topic.
Right.
Here I thought it was interesting that he was like, I'm going to try to clarify again my stance. And I thought in a whole circumstance of it that he did. Now, I'm not a trans person. I'm not part of that community. So I can't say if you should be offended or not. But I definitely think if you just take sound bites, you can be hella offended.
Right. It was a sound bite that he said that I heard. I was like, damn it, dude, I wish you would have found a clever way to say this. But he was like, he was talking about the baby. And he was like, he said something like God, he's like, oh man, the baby, he said, I pushed the limit, but the baby, you went too far. I was like, oh God, no, Debbie, I've never said nothing like that. He said he took those words and punched the LGBTQ right in the AIDS. I was like, gosh, dude, why? That wasn't even clever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he was trying to say, but I think he was like, you thought I was going to say this, but I flipped it on something else to be more offensive.
Right.
So I was like, I know I was like, could have came a little clever with that. Yeah. I would, if he had said something like that in her, was it like the thing that in the girdle, was it the brassiere? What's the thing called?
Brassiere?
The thing that tightens up. Bustier. You know, hit the LGBTQ right in the bustier, you know, something like that to kind of say like most of them where there's some sort of stereotype, but not something that's going to be life threatening. Don't say AIDS.
Yeah. And I think, and that's another, so with that, do you think comedians and people who do public speaking should make sanitize their stuff so their sound bites, like, because anybody's sound bite can be taken out of context. So should we more so worry about like our sound bites? Like, how will this be taken if it's out of context?
No, I don't think comedians should sanitize their material. I think if you flush out the premise enough, it's impossible for you to. Well, two different points. If you flush out the premise enough, it would be almost impossible for someone to be offended by it. If you create the world of why you believe this and have people understand your premise, the punchline, the offensive punchline would be, okay, I can see I can see how you could say that. But if you just say premise, punchline, which is offensive, you haven't even flushed out why your mindset is that. And that's where the sound bites come from, because they'll just do the punchline. If somebody said, what was the context? What was the context? And then you'll flush it like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Now, I will say, like, when he said that gender is a fact, I was thinking, he about to hear it.
Why don't you think gender is a fact?
I think that
be bold.
Yeah, this is a bold ass topic. I think that when people who are telling you that they identify as a certain way and they were born a certain way, like they were truly experiencing something that we might not understand, and we're privileged enough not to have to understand. So I can't say, like, I can say that yes, a person is born with a penis, and a person is born with a vagina. And you know, in our world as we know it, traditionally it's a woman born with a vagina, man born with a penis, or male born with a penis. Now, do those assignments always fit what the person identifies as? No. And then because it's those, you know, or is there like times where people are born with both? Or is, you know, or the traditional, I think gender is like more so a socio-crafted thing, like gender roles, like this is what you do because you're born to this. So I think that it can get kind of like, you know, like if that, first of all, if a community of people are telling you, no, that's not how it goes, and you just be like, but it's science and it's a fact, I think that's kind of arrogant of us to do so, if that makes sense.
I can't even say torn. I'm bothered from a lot of it. I have no quarrel for the community. If you're born a man and decide to be a woman, totally fine with that. I kind of get like when I think I get frustrated when I hear a man that transitions to a woman and then gets upset when women products are titled women products. And it's like, no, I'm not a woman. I identify as a man, but I want to use women products. So don't label it as women, because it's like also confusing.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, it's also like we use man and woman as gender, and I'm not as versed on this as I should be, but we use man and woman to assign gender, and then male and female, which I believe is more biology. And then so it's for example, if traditionally in our society we say all women have periods, females have periods, we say that. But if a person has transitioned to being a man and still experiencing a period, it's like now you're forcing me to still identify as a woman by saying I need these feminine products.
Right.
And so I think making noise and saying, hey, this isn't fair, you didn't think about how this affects us, is not a problem. It's making us all aware. is it frustrating because this feels new? It feels new to us.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating to them because this has been a lifetime struggle? Yes. So I get both sides.
So here's the thing. This is gonna be a little controversial. If there was no reference to the other gender, would people who transition over ever felt like they should have been a different gender?
What do you mean?
Like, if it was a third gender, like, would a male, female, and dry male, something like that. Mm-hmm. But since there isn't one, this is no such thing as dry male. Like, do people feel like if there's no, because there's no reference of what that is, would I feel like I'm not a male, I'm not a female, I'm a dry male?
So there's this idea behind gender fluidity. It's like sometimes I feel both male, like some people could say I feel both male and female. They could say I feel neither male nor female. And
that's bisexual.
That's
sexual preference.
Yeah. So you can feel like, so to say like you feel a-binary, you know, like not a-binary, but you feel like no gender. So that's addressing your question. Like, I don't feel neither male or female. That's a whole nother thing.
But I think genitals help you with that, right? With that confusion. Shouldn't genitals help you with that confusion?
What do you mean?
What can your body produce? Is it producing eggs or is it producing sperm?
So people are saying I still don't feel male or female, even if they have what we, you know, the male body parts. You could say I don't feel male, mm-hmm. or you could say I feel neither male or female. I don't identify with neither of these assignments that you're trying to give me, no matter what my body part is. That's oftentimes the discussion.
So what if I was a vegan but still ate meat, but say I identify as a carnivore? Like, so people say, are you a vegan? He's like, yes, but I identify as a meat eater.
I think it's kind of oversimplifying. I think this is one of the times that I wish that we actually, you know, could bring a guest on and have this type of discussion, because I do feel like that's an oversimplification of a taste. Like, nobody's assigned this person to be a vegan. You know what I mean? Like, society's assigned them to be like, you're male.
What can I identify as a different race?
That's a whole nother.
Why not?
No, I'm saying it's a whole nother discussion that people often ask.
I was born black, and then I like, hey, cops, don't shoot me, don't pull me over. I'm white. Like, okay, you about to get a bullet in your ass. Pow! Cops shot a white man. What are y'all doing? Like,
I mean, and that's a true question that somebody like Rachel Dolezal has brought to the forefront.
So if I change nothing, mm-hmm. I change nothing in my appearance, I am Dion Lack, look exactly like this. I can verbally tell the world I identify as white. I'm not being funny, but could I do that?
Yeah.
And what is that? Is that called transracial?
I feel like that's what I've heard. Now listen. I just think, I know that race is a social construct, and our skin color should not identify us as white or black. And then I would like to ask, like, what a part of white do you identify with? Is it culturally, or is it like
survival? I just don't want to die from the cops.
Well, sir, I'm just gonna let you know that even though you identify that way,
You're still getting this bullet in your ass. Go ahead and turn around. Hey, Rick, give me the clip. I'm about to unload on him.
I will say it does feel like new and scary for a lot of people. Hard to understand and wrap your mind around. Very, like I understand that for society, a majority of society, that's what it's a lot. That's why in Dave Chappelle's special, I was like, I appreciated him still bringing, but everybody's human, and this is why we should have empathy for each other,
right?
Because everybody's going through some form of human struggle.
Also, I understand people transition over. I get it. If I was a man, born as a man, I can transition to be a woman. Do you get a maximum amount of times of flipping genders? And do you have to address it every time you switch over, like you got traded to a different team? Like, do you tell people, hey, I'm back as a male? Or do you just kind of look at them like, what's happening today? I know two people that had went back and forth.
Like with the surgery
as
and
in
everything?
No, not surgery, but identifying, started off as a woman, transitioned to a man, and then went back to a woman.
Really?
Yes, you know her too.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, like, do we just like wait for you to say something? Because they say, identify me as, call my pronoun as what I desire.
Yeah. That's why I just think it's easier. Like, and I know some people are annoyed when people put in their emails their pronouns, or like on their Facebook or Twitter put their pronouns. I be appreciating that mess, because like you don't want to offend people, so naturally you say stuff like, yeah, she called me, but then I'm like, I don't know her like that, so what if she identifies as they? And I just said she, and I said something wrong, and now they mad at me. So I really do appreciate when people put their pronouns in their emails.
Is the word androgynous means you don't know the difference between male and female? Just by visually looking. I think that's androgynous, right?
Yeah.
I like that word a lot.
Spell it.
Slow down, total stranger. Yeah, I like that word. Anyway, what else we got?
All right. Next one is dumb.
Hey, take a look at this nice shirt I got on. What that talking about?
For the last time, it's on the call sheet.
What that mean, Twilla?
Listen, if you work in production management, if you're a production coordinator, a line producer, an associate producer, an AD, first, second assist, all those levels, you know that on sets, people are always asking you questions about what time they should be there, where should they be, where's hair and makeup, what time do the school start for the kids. It's all on the call sheet. I swear, everything that you need to know for production, a shoot day, is all on the call sheet. And stop asking me, because from here on out, my answer is, for the last time.
It's on the call sheet. And tell the people where they can get this fantastic shirt from.
You can get that at store.lacktoastent.com.
And back to your schedule program.
Thank you, sir. Dumbass. Today we're talking about dumbass teens. Okay, we've all seen these TikTok challenges. Like, there's a challenge for everything. It would be like, what was it, like cinnamon challenge? I think that might have started with us millennials. But there's like the ice bucket challenge. And that was raising money, but with ice buckets, just throwing it. Then we have the crate challenge this summer.
Yep. Love the crate challenge. Very visually enticing.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Dumb.
Absolutely.
So continuing in that trend, and then the dance challenges. I had fun watching the dance challenges.
Love dance challenges.
Those are always fun to watch. These challenges are getting kids in trouble, man.
Okay, well, keep going then. What are we talking about?
So last month I heard something about the Devious Licks challenge.
Devious Licks.
Licks as in stealing, like stuff like that. So kids would go to school and steal stuff like urinals out the bathroom.
Oh, that is devious.
And stupid because like some schools just was like, well, we can't use the male restroom because kids keep going in and vandalizing. Stealing staplers and tissue and stuff, but like pulling sinks out, water fountains. Mm-hmm. So kids have been getting in trouble for vandalism. But basically the idea is like you steal it and then you show off your devious licks.
What you stole.
But
what the licks is about?
The licks is like things that you steal.
Like, it hasn't. You came up on a lick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So now they're doing smack a teacher or smack a staff member at school.
Oh. Yeah.
So basically, filming themselves smacking teachers. Bro,
I don't understand what you're saying. Could you please elaborate? I think
so. This is a challenge in which kids will bring out their cameras, get filmed, slapping a teacher or a staff member at school.
I hear what you're saying, but I think you are misquoting what you were actually trying to say. Because when I heard is kids are filming other kids slapping their teacher, which would be hilarious, but I know that's not what you're trying to say. Keep
Is
going.
it hilarious?
Because
that's exactly what they're doing. No, yeah.
Impossible.
Listen, I'm already not a teacher because I do not have the patience for these kids. I do not have the temperament that will allow me. And I'm also the person that will laugh when kids do something hilarious. Like, I don't have an in-between. So it's like I'm impatient, but kid, that was funny, right? Imagine a kid coming to you, hey, Mr. Dion.
I mean, did you just sigh out? Because the thing is, I think children are so gun-ho on going viral.
They go viral for the wrong reasons.
That's what I'm saying. They will go viral for all the wrong reasons. As soon as they turn around and give a thumbs up to the camera, they're going to have a foot in their ass. They're going to get choked from the back. Like, hey, get that.
Because I feel like anybody's natural reaction to being smacked, who's not trained to deal with that type of pressure, your natural reaction is hold the hell up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just a quick, like smack here, punch there. Like I just
yeah. Absolutely.
Bam,
Absolutely.
bam. I didn't think about it. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
Yep. Uppercut, chin, bicuspids in the wastebasket. So I could possibly I'll be prepared for it. Like I'm like, oh y'all, these are kids, these are my kids. They preparing for that. Like right when they try to slap me, we're gonna high five like. You are the last dragon. I'm gonna turn around, put him in the head like, who else wants someone to hold a hostage? Who want to slap Mr. Lack? Huh?
But who's wrong? Like if the teacher slaps the kid, is the teacher wrong?
You know what's funny? What if the kid slaps the teacher, the teacher retaliates, body slams the teacher on the desk, and then they say, yo, he slapped me. And your boy Brian back there filmed it. Here, principal, show the proof. It's like, there's no proof. You just slammed him on purpose.
Listen.
And all the kids is like, Mr. Lack just snapped.
They would do some devious mess like that. I would get you out of a job. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, I remember, like, my third grade teacher, I knew she was not one. I had a sixth grade teacher. She was also one not to be played with. And I could imagine us trying to do that and us getting the beating of our life. Like, I don't even think they were allowed to whoop in school during that time. But between Miss Falk and Miss Jefferson, we'd have got that tail beat.
Let me tell you something. I didn't get hit from any of my teachers, but when we played football, my coach tackled us.
He was sick of
y'all. He was tackling us like we were actually in the game. He was so pissed. He would punch our helmets. Sheesh. We couldn't feel it, but he will punch our helmets. You missed assignments. What is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. Our face, man. We just like, I can't feel it, but I'm embarrassed.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay.
This was 97, man.
Yeah.
You know, we wasn't telling on people yet.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just, that whole thing, like, I just want to know, like, I want to go ahead and start the GoFundMes for my generation
That's
of
funny.
teachers.
I want to see the videos.
Age.
I want to see the videos.
See the videos. I'm starting to GoFundMe for these teachers who are getting in trouble for knocking them out. I don't even know if they're getting in trouble.
Also,
but...
also, what we fail to realize is these are humans, man.
Yeah.
These are with children and brothers and husbands who are police officers and grandchildren that are boxers and and boyfriends with NRA memberships.
Yeah. I mean, like, and let's be honest, like, I know my friends who are currently teachers. I've been to the clubs with them, so I know what type of music we get hype off of. I know that you can put a little Crime Mob on. You could put a little C Murder on. It's a whole different thing. I'm from the South. So I'm just saying my teacher friends are a different type of about it.
Hey.
I
like,
see y'all.
Punch back, come back with war paint on like, oh, we in
Pastor
it.
Troy with it. Like, it's different. We a little different.
Yeah.
So yeah, the teachers back in our day would have probably beat us, but these teachers now will give you a beat down.
That's funny.
Like, I totally, so.
How much patience do you have for a child that slaps you? As in not like
Another person's kid, or
another person's kid?
I don't.
Well, let's talk about a 1-year-old. You know they just being silly,
they're
right?
just cute.
What age do you feel like this kid did it on purpose? Like 2, 3. Stop me when I get to 4.
I think 3. We actually 3. You know better.
What are you doing to the child? Are you say, hey, parent, get your child, or do you have to retaliate? What is the age of? Okay, this kid's bad, and then what is the level? 1 is it was an accident. 3 is he knew what he was doing. He did it on purpose. Parent, get your child before I have to fill in the blank. Then, what age is it I have to retaliate? With no laughing afterwards. It's like a looking you in the face like, what you gonna do?
Well, I said 3 was the first one, so I might just go up to 5.
5? and he bit his lip too like, I said I want some ice cream. Go get me some ice cream.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that. I almost said 4. Why you playing?
You run it back down. 6 months. Or you can talk like that 6 months.
Oh, you said your baby's 46 months old? They got it. 40.
They got 46 licks coming in. Yeah.
How about you? You're a little bit more patient. You a dad.
Well, I don't. So if it's my children, I will scare them with my voice. Hey, what you doing? No. And if that don't do anything, I have to. I'm talking like, as in a 3-year-old. I have to scare them like that because at that age, whooping them is like, I thought we was having fun.
Right.
I would say once you walk, talk, have opinions, desires, I have to pop you. Not the same way, in the soft spot. Like somehow. Like for you to, like, I need you to understand what you did was foul. Don't ever hit an adult person who's feeding. I keep thinking it's my children.
Yeah, it's not your children.
The problem is I don't play with nobody's kids without the parent around for that very reason.
That's smart.
So if it's gonna be 1-on-1, I can't be like, Hey, your kid just hit me in the face. He just keep playing. He does that to everybody. No, we don't play like that. You gonna mess around and had his kid in a Ford Nelson, have him in a figure 4 lock, bite his umbilical cord. I don't know what that means. That sounds like a wrestling move. I just feel like I'm saying that. Biting the umbilical cord.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that's a smart rule. Don't play with other people's children without them around.
Hey.
And then for the parents to be like, oh, they just do that to everybody. What?
Body slam.
I'm fighting now. Now I'm fighting
everybody.
The parents. Now I have to fight the parents. I'm thinking this is our last topic of the day.
Yay.
This one is persistent ass. Persistent ass. Creator of Netflix hit shows Squid Games had to stop writing the script because he had to sell his laptop for $675 in cash.
Wow.
For about a decade, with trying to sell his scripts, studios rejected the concept, saying that the plot line was gory, too grotesque, and too unrealistic. And I know this isn't just unique to like Squid Games, but for it to be like such a phenomenal #1 across 90 countries or something like that, and the first Korean film to hit like one of the top US ratings on Netflix, just is such a testimony, because it does get frustrating. Like I have a email. I used to keep a folder called rejections for all like the film festivals and script contests and things that I didn't get, or managers who said they weren't interested in repping me or stuff like that, because it happens a lot.
Right.
A couple of other films that went through a lot of rejections were Pulp Fiction, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future, and the movie, you remember Seven? Yeah. Was rejected by all major studios in the U.S. And it took an Italian production company to option that script. Wow. And now it's one of the most classics.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Yeah. And it's hundreds of thousands of scripts that you're sitting on a shelf that people don't believe in.
Yeah.
And it's really about the right talent and the right financier that says, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's also timing. So, like, the creator of Squid Game said that his film started picking up, I think Netflix picked it up 2 years ago, and their thing was, it was more so, like, because of the topic, the topic being, like, poor people and being mistreated and treated unfairly, and injustices. And then, like, during the pandemic, like, this was kind of hit at the right time. So this was more so that was something relatable that Netflix realized that people wanted to see. Okay. So sometimes you're, like, too ahead of your time. And I think which film I said? I think Pulp Fiction was one of those that was too ahead of its time. Back to the Future, they were like, oh, this is too family friendly or not family friendly enough. It's when people can't put it into like those nice little pockets that they can't see like what's supposed to be happening. And I honestly truly feel that way about like your when you used to do the rap
lyrical flash mobs.
Yeah, the lyrical flash mobs. Like that came ahead of its time, but then like
a lot of people are doing it.
A lot of people are doing it now. And it's such a great concept, but it just shows that you did it and people liked it. It got to a couple of comedy festivals and stuff like that. Yeah. But it was just new, and people didn't know quite what to do with that.
Right. I want to do a short film like that.
Yeah.
I think we should definitely shoot mixtape. It's time to shoot mixtape.
Yeah.
It's time.
E.T.'s time. I definitely am ready to shoot that one. That's more of the fun stuff. Like, I miss that fun stuff. Like, I think we just have to, like, y'all in a real life production meeting right now. I think we definitely should shoot that one. It's just one of those things, making sure on our team we have somebody who knows, like, the marketing and the distribution heavy part of it.
Right.
Because I think in our work, that's what's missing, like that follow through and making sure that we just don't have that short lived, like, we made it to festivals, now what?
Right.
Because festivals don't be paying off stuff, y'all.
It's just
little bragging rights.
It is. It's just honestly, film festivals feel just like, it feels like it's more about the film festival more than the art. Like here we go. Because I gotta get this thought out. Because if I ran a film festival and it was like, it's a $25 entry fee, and we get 100 or 650 entry fees, that pays for the venue, the lanyards, and now I've profited from the amount of people that have entries. But obviously it's bigger for Sundance. You get hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people entry, and there's an entry part in there, and I'm sure they get money from like Film Freeway was it?
I know Film Freeway, but I don't think they get money from them.
I'm sure they get some sort of, because that's the. Okay.
Well, Sundance you have to pay directly. I don't think it's.
Oh, really?
I think you go directly through Sundance Festival.
Okay.
For Sundance.
So I'm thinking I was like, if I was like, I need to find a way to make money, let's open up a film festival. We have a location. Let's have people say, hey, send us your film so we can be part of this film festival.
Yeah.
And it's a $10 entry fee, and now we rent out of a theater that we probably have a discount on some friends or something like that. And
I think that's true for definitely like the smaller festivals.
Mm-hmm.
That there is some sort of profit, but when you think about like all the fees that the festival costs and meals that you might pay for and posters and advertisements, and I don't know if it's that profitable, like especially like the large festivals like your Sundance and your Cannes and Tribeca, because now you have to pay judges to come out and you're putting up people in rooms and you taking over whole cities and you bus systems and all these different things. I don't necessarily think, because Sundance is a nonprofit organization, like they make money through their galas and stuff, but so I think the larger film festivals are about the films, and it is like a huge industry event, and it's just like really a matter of like when you go there as a participant, you better like that's your time that you have shined, so you better come with more projects ready and loaded that you can pitch, because that's when people are paying attention to you. Right. And so, but the chance of getting into a festival like a Sundance or a Tribeca are so much slimmer than like these larger film festivals. So all the other many smaller film festivals. So the many film festivals give more filmmakers an opportunity to show their work, but these larger ones are the ones where you can actually come back with distribution deals or an agent or a manager and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like to say I'm ready to shoot mixtape. I was thinking we should do a table read.
Yeah.
So get some actors together.
Yes, that sounds fantastic.
It'd be fun to do that on a live.
Oh, yeah. We still doing something.
Yeah.
But you about to start work, so that's gonna be like another.
Well, I haven't got my paperwork yet. This strike might be. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we will see, man. This is the brainchild thought of when we will start shooting mixtape, and hopefully you guys get to see the outcome and say, yeah, I was there October 7th when they were talking about mixtape, and here it is.
Right. Well,
that's my stomach growling.
As always, thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting and viewing on YouTube. Thank you for listening on Spotify. We have a lot of listeners on Apple Podcast, and I think YouTube is the other biggest one. So thank you all for supporting wherever you watch and listen. Check it out next week. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, people. What are you thinking?
Yes.
What I like is like people stop me and tell me exactly what their thoughts are, but they won't leave it on the.
They
comments.
won't leave a comment.
But they'll tell me, and I hear you, and I appreciate you. I'm not complaining about that, but definitely feel free to leave that as well and get conversation started. Until next week.
Toodaloo. Love you guys. This is another random ass conversation with Twilla. Dion like.